Are you thinking about booking a cruise on the Carnival Venezia?
Is the fun Italian style experience advertised better or worse than regular Carnival cruises?
Most importantly, is it worth booking for your next vacation?
This is Jen and Ryan from Everest Travels, and today we're going to be looking at 5 pros and 5 cons from our recent sailing aboard the Venezia.
Breaking down our experience and providing honest opinions with the goal of helping you decide if this is the right ship for you.
If you do find this video helpful, please leave a like and subscribe for more Carnival Venezia videos, including a full deck-by-deck ship tour that's already live on the channel.
One of the things we absolutely loved about the Carnival Venezia is the huge variety of activities on board. Whether you're traveling as a family, a couple, or even solo, there's never a dull moment.
From morning through night, there's always a timed activity happening somewhere on the Venezia. From Venetian face mask making to pop-up games, dance classes, trivia, and more. You won't have to walk far to come across something fun happening.
And you can keep track of all onboard activities at any time using the Carnival Hub app, which provides updated itinerary information even if you don't have a Wi-Fi package. If you're looking for some anytime fun, check out Deck 12. This is where you'll find the mini golf course and rope course. Also, an arcade is here, and it's also where you'll access Carnival Waterworks. This is a fun splash area for younger kids, and it's also where you'll find the twisting and turning slides. They are very fast. 2 quick tips for the water slides: leave your sunglasses, hats, phones, and everything else on your person at your seat, because the sheer velocity of these slides will make them easy to lose. But at the same time, bring your sandals and wear them. When I went to Waterworks, it was a very hot day. We were out at sea, the sun was shining, and oh boy, the floor was hot, making the climb to the entrance of the slide torture. It is a couple floors off of Deck 12. Now, it wasn't unbearable torture, as I did do it a couple of times, but if you were to bring anything up to the top of the slides to bring down with you, bring your sandals. You will save your feet from a world of hurt.
But if you're more about relaxation, there's plenty for you too. From the Serenity Adults Only Retreat, to movies at the Seaside Theater, and live music at the Piazza San Marco. Add in the comedy shows at the Punchliner Comedy Club, themed deck parties, and more. You've got a cruise where every day can be as exciting or as chill as you want it to be.
We love a good pool, and the Carnival Venezia, it really left us wanting more. The pools felt like an afterthought as opposed to the main attraction on the top decks. Both main pools are found on Deck 10, with the Lido pool in the center of all the action near the Seaside Theater and Guy's Burger joint. We'll give it props that it is pretty cool to swim around and watch movies or whatever activities are happening on the main stage, but overall, the pool was small and could get very crowded very quickly, especially on days at sea, which makes it a less inviting place for anyone looking to actually swim versus just cooling off.
With so many guests aboard a relatively compact pool area, finding a lounge chair in the sun can turn into a bit of a challenge.
There are a couple areas on board with hot tubs, including the Tides pool area near the aft of Deck 10. This also suffers from the similar problem in the first pool, where it can get crowded very quickly, except there's a little bit more room to move around because, again, the hot tubs, you can go in there instead of the main pool, and the overall deck area is a bit bigger. If you are looking for a more chill spot, check out that Serenity Adult Only Retreat. There is a hot tub up there. It does still get pretty full pretty quickly, but at least it's a little bit more chill.
When it comes to food options, the Carnival Venezia really delivers something for everyone, even the pickiest of eaters. Of course, you've got all the Carnival favorites. Guy's Burger joint providing regular or extravagantly filled burgers, Pizzeria del Capitano serving up pizza throughout the day, and the Lido Marketplace Buffet serving up breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Plus, with a handful of other free places to eat like Tamadaro, a Mexican restaurant, and La Strada Grill, another mini buffet found on the outside terrace of Deck 5.
And of course, my personal favorite, and if you have a sweet tooth in your family, their personal favorite, Swirls, the all-you-can-eat ice cream stop located within the buffet.
You were never far from a quick eat.
We really enjoyed also eating at the Canal Grand Restaurant each night, and while we're praising the variety, I wouldn't say the same about the quality of food. Compared to other cruise lines we've sailed on, the quality was just average. With that said, though, we always found the flavor profile and presentation much more memorable in the main dining room.
There are additional specialty restaurants you can splurge on if you'd like, including Bonsai Sushi and Fahrenheit 555. But the one place not included that left us shaking our heads was Il Viaggio, the Italian inspired restaurant. The Venezia is branded as a fun Italian style carnival cruise. We felt it'd only be logical to have an Italian inspired restaurant as part of the main experience.
Well, I guess the pizza was free.
So we like the variety of food on board. We weren't as fond of the wait times to get that food.
Popular spots like Guy's Burger Joint and the Pizzeria, they almost always had a wait, especially during peak meal times or sea days when everyone's on board. On the bright side, though, when it was very busy, they often opened up two lines, so that helped alleviate the queues, but don't be surprised to be waiting for up to 50 minutes to get served food. Even in the marketplace buffet, that could still be very packed very quickly with lines forming at the more popular stations. With all that being said, it is worth noting that this ship was originally designed for Costa cruises, so the layout of the buffet and some of the food venues doesn't quite match up with what you'd expect on a typical Carnival ship, and that can add to the crowded feel. They're trying to make the Carnival experience work on a ship designed for another cruise line.
This is far from a reason to avoid the Venezia, but something worth knowing before boarding so you can set your expectations accordingly.
If you're cruising with kids, the Carnival Venezia really shines. And for us, the kids programming, it was a huge pro. The ship offers Camp Ocean, which splits kids into fun, age-appropriate groups, including penguins for ages 2 to 5, stingrays for 6 to 8, and sharks for those 9 to 11. Now, if you're traveling with older kids, there's still something for them. Circle C is for those 12 to 14, and Club O2 for teens 15 to 17. These spaces aren't just all about babysitting. They're full of fun, interactive activities, games, crafts, different themed events, and more to keep your kids engaged while you're out doing something even more fun. But the kid-centric focus doesn't stop there. There is Seuss at Sea, which is a whole lot of fun. It brings Dr. Seuss characters and story times to life. This was a big hit with our daughter. The Cat in the Hat, Thing 1 and Thing 2, and Sam I Am kept popping up at events throughout the ship. And if you are able to splurge on any meal with the little ones, we'd encourage you to check out the Thing 1 and Thing 2 Birthday Bash. It's $10 for kids or $15 for adults at time of recording. You get to try out unique Dr. Seuss themed eats, all while getting up close and personal with your favorite characters.
While the Carnival Venezia has some beautifully themed public spaces, the staterooms themselves left us wanting more.
We stayed in a cove balcony room on deck 2, and we found the room functional but on the smaller side. We entered to a very narrow hallway, which also housed the storage closets and the entrance to the bathroom before opening up to a slightly larger living area.
The Venetian-themed attempts continued in the room with gold-rimmed mirrors and picture background against the wall instead of a headboard. We enjoyed the cove balcony. It's available for lower decks and trades off the panoramic clear views you'd find on higher decks for slightly obstructed views.
But you're so close to the water, you're practically swimming in it.
On our sailing, we were even able to spot a few dolphins jumping out of the water near our ship because we were so low. It was wonderful.
Now, one of the reasons we put this on the con, and again, this is just our room, but we were also greeted with a large red stain on the carpet. It looked like somebody had spilled a bottle of red wine there. The crew definitely did everything they could to clean it, but it was quite noticeable and made us feel like the room it wasn't the cleanest it could be. Couple that with some stains on the deck chairs and peeling walls in the bathroom. The room was not immaculate, and this is not a complaint against the stateroom attendants. They were friendly in everything they influenced, like regular cleanings, making the bed, adding those cute little towel animals every day. That was always top-notch service. But the bones of the room left more to be desired.
One of the things we really appreciated about the Carnival Venezia and Carnival in general is that you're allowed to bring your own drinks on board. Each adult can bring one bottle of wine or champagne in their carry on luggage. Not all cruise lines offer this, and we made use of it as a way to save some money.
Plus, every guest can bring up to 12 non alcoholic beverages like soda, water, or juice. This is a huge plus to have your favorite drink always at the ready. We brought on some apple juice for our daughter, and a case of Coke, and a case of ginger ale for us. With this in our rooms, we did not spend an extra penny on juice or soda anywhere on the ship. It is a small perk, but it does add up, especially for families with kids who want their own juices or sodas, or for the wine lovers who really want to enjoy a personal bottle on their balcony without worrying about a bar tab. Now, if you are planning a drink at the onboard bars, there are packages available, but after doing the math, they weren't worth the investment for us, especially after bringing on this drink allowance.
We still enjoyed multiple drinks per day, but felt we needed a minimum of 6 drinks per person per day to break even. And that was more than we were planning. So we bought them a la carte once we ran out of the wine we brought on board.
It is worth noting too, the Cheers alcoholic drink package, it needs to be purchased for all adults in your cabin, even if somebody in your party doesn't drink or if they're pregnant. If they're over 21, all adults will be charged for it. It's an all or nothing option, not customizable like the bottomless bubble soda and juice packages.
One thing we noticed on the Carnival Venezia is that the common areas can feel really crowded, especially during sea days. The ship was originally designed for Costa cruises, and while Carnival has done a great job updating the spaces, some of the public areas like the Lido Marketplace, main pool decks, and even parts of the piazza just don't feel big enough for the number of guests on board. At peak times, finding a seat in the buffet or grabbing a lounge chair by the pool can turn into a bit of a challenge. And high traffic areas like the elevator lobbies or atrium often feel congested.
The layout can be a bit confusing too. One of the main indoor decks for eating and socializing is Deck 3. It's where you find the Canal Grand Restaurant, the Atrium Bar and Lounge, guest services, and the Marco Polo restaurant. But it's also a deck that's oddly segmented. If you're trying to access the atrium from the Canal Grand Restaurant, you'll either need to take the stairs or elevators up to Deck 4 or down to Deck 2. Walk across half the ship from there before ascending or descending those stairs to get to your final destination. With these areas being the main focus for eating and socializing, it was just strange to be herded upstairs or downstairs just to access another popular area on the same deck. This, again, not a deal breaker, but if you prefer wide open spaces, quieter public areas, and straightforward layouts, the Venezia can feel a bit more cramped and confusing than other ships that are purposely built for Carnival cruise lines.
One of the unique advantages that Carnival Venezia has is that it sails right out of New York City, which may not seem like a huge pro if you have easy access to Florida ports, but it is such a great alternative to many.
If you live in the Northeast or nearby that area, you don't have to worry about booking expensive flights down to Florida or other traditional cruise departure cities. Instead, you can just hop on a train, drive, or take a short flight to NYC to start your vacation. It's super convenient and can save you both time and money based off where you're located. Plus, sailing from New York, it also means you can get some incredible itineraries in place like Bermuda, the Caribbean. It's easy to jump up to Canada and New England, all starting from one of the most iconic cities in the world, too. So, New York City itself is a trip worth taking.
With that being said, you can still find sailing from Port Carnival in Orlando. So if you really want to take this ship, you'll likely be able to find time to hop on from Florida if that's more convenient for you.
Alright, by now, the cat's out of the bag. You know that the ship was not originally built for Carnival Cruise Lines, but instead Costa Cruises in Europe. Because of that, the ship naturally offers a different vibe than you might have experienced on other Carnival ships.
From the layout of the public spaces to the Italian-inspired decor, the Venezia feels more like a Costa ship that's been rebranded rather than a purpose-built Carnival Fun ship. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's beautiful and unique, but if you're a Carnival loyalist who loves that classic Carnival party atmosphere, you might find this one a little different. The Fun Italian Style experience is fun in its own unique way, but it doesn't fully deliver that full familiar carnival feel. And for some cruisers, that could be a letdown.
For us, we did really enjoy our time on board. Instead of Carnival's ship on a stick trophies for winning games on board, they offer their own twist with spinner medallion medals that they would hand out if you get the best score in trivia or you win an on-stage game. And we did find it quite novel to see the giant coast to sea with a yellow background instead of the typical red and blue Carnival funnel. At the end of the day, you're still on vacation. It's still a Carnival cruise, but some things will just hit differently.
And there it is, our biggest pros and cons of the Carnival Venezia.
If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, and if you've sailed it, let us know in the comments about your favorite or least favorite part of the ship.
Please subscribe for more upcoming cruise and Venezia videos, including an in-depth ultimate review that's already live on our channel.